Hey ladies and gents, this is Dwiz here with a look at the Mythic Legion's Swigg Goblin figure. And this is him. I've got a little ambient noise going on in the background, but hopefully nobody can hear that. It's construction outside, nothing I can do. But let's start in reading the bio. Swigg. Goblins are the smallest and least powerful of the impure, a fact which has long bothered King Goblin. Wishing to increase the importance of his army to the machinations of Gorgo Aetherblade, the Goblin King has tasked his chief alchemist with creating magical elixirs for his goblin soldiers. Hidden in his lab deep within Gob Hollow, Swigg brews potions that create abilities such as unmatched strength, impenetrable skin, the ability to fly, or to turn invisible. That is, of course, if the potions work as intended. Not all of Swigg's concoctions perform as planned, and taking one of his potions is always a risk. So, that's Swigg. What a fun bio. Opens up goblins to all sorts of interesting possibilities. Chances for comic relief in there, adventures and misadventures. And so this guy is very, very cool, and he's a little bit different when it comes to goblins. The first thing I notice is that he is fancy, and he's got fancy pants, and he's a little shiny, so he takes care to make sure that he is dressed and attired in sartorial splendor. The deep purple loincloth and the folds and the shiny. Oh, I'm knocked over Swigg. Sorry, Swigg. That's Snag, not Swigg. We were talking about the clothes, the loincloth that he has on there. Good job on the soft goods with everything in there wired. And I have to say that the soft goods in this wave, including Swigg's loincloth and skirt and Dubon's cape, have just taken this line to a whole new level that I hadn't even really imagined before. But you see that deep purple there. It just indicates that he's someone of stature, someone who cares about his appearance. And normally, I think goblins are seen as filthy little creatures. Maybe they like to hoard, but they're not really into conspicuous consumption. But this guy, being an alchemist, I guess, is different, and it really makes him unique as a character, especially as a goblin. He's got this, shiny metallics here with the rivets painted gold. He's got this, this very, very intricately painted and bright and vibrant metallic sheath for his dagger. And so he's a fancy pants kind of guy. The sheath you can put on any part of his belt, but I stuck it here on this new belt that they've created with the pouches that I think works really well. And I stuck it there, but you can put it on the side, you can configure it elsewhere. The only thing is, when you work with these sheaths with these daggers, they have this small plastic piece that you have to be careful with. Otherwise, it is possible to break that. So I won't fuss with that too much, but that was just an alternate configuration that I thought. I love the belts. I love the hits of metallic on the rivets. I really like the sword. It's very wicked looking, especially with the bone handle. He's kind of like a wizard appearing type creature. I also think that he looks really cool with these big oversized pauldrons. There's something neat about having a character that's small in stature yet has that sort of powerful profile to him. Then he has the staff, which is it's got this fancy blue bulb at the top. I don't know if it's a magical staff or he just uses it to stir his potions or whatever. It's got these gold adornments, and he's a nasty little goblin, but he looks like he's got a level of intelligence and sophistication to him that other goblins might not have. And he also can fight. That's why he has his sword. So he comes with 4 hands. So the hands that he has there are more loose gripping hands or gesticulating hands. These hands are if you want him to get a firm grip on his accessory. So he's got 2 more hands. He's got these black fingernails. Hopefully you can see there. Nasty little fingernails, sharp fingernails. All the way around. But I really like these dramatic hands because it just, like, I think adds to the character when you can see him sort of, gesticulating, talking. Now, there's one thing about this character that I think was a missed opportunity, and everybody's been talking about it for accessories. His name is Swigg, so people want him to have like a potion or something for him to just drink out of. So I went out and I tracked this down. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's probably not gonna work, but it's a little glass container with a cork in it. And I got these at the dollar store. I think it's $1.25 for like 10 of these or something. And I want to put a little bit of liquid in there and see if that can't serve as sort of a makeshift potion bottle. And then I have this Holy Grail from a game from, let's see here. Let me see if that could work. I'll try that too. So he can have something that, take a swig from, right? Because he's a swig. He needs to be swigging. So yeah, that kind of works. That from the, can't remember what the name of the game was. But yeah, so, a Holy Grail. And then let's see this one, see if that fits there. Might stretch the hands a little bit more. It might kind of stretch the hands a little bit more. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably have him, I'll probably put like a little thread and I'll put a needle and I'll put it through there and make a little handle so he can hold this little potion so he can go around asking his friends / guinea pigs, lab assistants or whatever to try. I'm gonna pull the hand out to see if try it to see what sort of hijinks occur. So let's see. But in the meantime, he needs to be swigging, and he needs to be swigging hard and drinking. So part of the fun of these, I think, is finding different accessories to sort of personalize. But yeah, it would have been nice to have some potion bottles. And I think maybe in the future, there could be an accessory pack, and maybe all the fans could vote on things they'd like to see in the line, and then maybe the Horsemen could make it. I don't know. But that would be probably one of my top votes, like official Mythic Legions potion bottles, so that he could have it. And it occurs to me that he can't be drinking out of this drab cup. It's gonna have to be painted gold, and then I'm gonna have to put some sort of liquid in there. So that's sort of the fun part about playing with your figures. Let's compare him to Snag, for example. Snag, which is, I think, my favorite goblin, and he also inspired me to kind of get all kinds of accessories and stuff to set him up with. Now, the reason he's kind of kneeling down like this on top of this gold bag full of filthy lucre is because I actually bought as an accessory for him. I got this jewel here so he could snag, and then I got this gold bag and I set him up. I bought the D&D dice tower the one that's missing the one eye, the orange one. That's the big demon that appeared in the D&D guidebooks. And so I have Snag permanently set up next to that D&D guidebook because it has a pink jewel for an eye and it has one missing. So I have Snag there. You know, he just pried that eyeball off with his nasty little blade, and a permanent part of my display. So much fun to see him, but you know, so much personality too. See, Snag, he's got mismatched armor. He doesn't have this shiny, you know, armor. It's not gilt with gold or copper or whatever, like Swigg's. That gives you a different idea of what kind of goblin he is. You know, his hat is plain and stitched, and this guy is really well put together. So, but if Snag took fashion tips from Swigg, then he'd be a completely different guy. So let's take one last look here at beautiful little Swigg. He doesn't have a big nose. He has a tiny, like, pushed in nose. And I like that sort of variety with these goblin creatures. They're impure, so maybe one time they have a giant nose and then one time they have a small nose that would make Michael Jackson proud, right? Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. So I also like their names. How fun. Swigg, Snag. Maybe we can get a Shag. Anyway, that's it. Is signing out.